out what a baby is in need of while they are crying uncontrollably. I'm sure many of us have wished there was a way to communicate with them, even though they are unable to speak words yet. Today, I will be discussing the benefits of teaching sign language to young children as they are developing linguistic, speech, motor, reasoning, and communication skills. This is so important and significant because it can help many parents and caretakers develop a way to understand those who are unable to speak. Also, not only is it important for enhanced brain development, it can also deliver a source of communication in the case that the child is in need of serious help. I am no expert in sign language, however, I am learning how to sign and have done a great amount of research on this topic. From my research, I have seen the statistics of increased cognitive development in young children using sign language, and I have convinced myself to teach my future children to sign. I will be discussing the cognitive and psychological benefits and the increased communication skills associated with young children using sign language along with their first language. Let's begin by talking about the increased cognitive development that has been seen to occur. Using signs to communicate reinforces the learning of educational topics young children learn, such as ABCs and simple phrases. By using not one but two languages, this child is able to associate a word or phrase with an action or hand signal better than children who have not learned to sign. For example, repeating, "Are you hungry?" to a baby would be very confusing to them. However, if the hungry sign is signaled, the child would recognize the sign and have a better understanding of what is being asked. This is the hungry sign. This also leads to higher abstract and creative thinking, with the ability to problem solve and listening skills. Secondly, memory is accelerated due to the repetitive teaching of signs at a young age. In this, the child is using two sides of the brain to learn to communicate rather than just one. By using the two languages, the child would be considered bilingual and is processing both languages in the two sides of their brain. As you can see, by using sign language, the brain is being used in many different places in the bilingual brain, whereas the monolingual brain, it's not as much. According to author Benedetta Bassetti in her article, A Long Exciting Journey in Bilingualism Research, posted in the American Journal of Psychology, bilingual infants have an improved phonological and lexical development rather than in monolingual infants and are able to recognize similarities in words and phrases from prior knowledge and experience concrete learning. Recalling the information of the words and signals come from many parts of the brain as shown. The brain's left side is used for understanding speech and language. The Broca's area is used for controlling the face and mouth movement, and the Wernicke's area is used for the auditory cortex. While learning to associate hand movements and words, sign language is a significant aid. It can also be used to aid in psychological development as well. Imagine needing something such as food or assistance and not being understood by anyone because there's a communication barrier. Frustration is bound to occur in young children unable to express their needs. However, by using sign language, children are able to show their specific needs to their parent or caretaker with ease. This will release tension built up, reduce tantrums, stress, and negative emotions, and it can replace it with confidence and self-esteem. While learning anything new, typically humans want to feel comfortable and confident. After learning to sign, children will indeed create a better bond with parental figures and that there will be a common understanding with both parties and the child will feel heard. It is most important that young children and babies' needs are met as they are still learning and processing information. Sequentially, parents are learning about their children on a daily basis and have access to successfully communicating essential needs while teaching. Communication between a child and a parent is crucial. If an infant is hungry or hurt, it may be difficult for a parent or caregiver to recognize this. According to Dr. Gwyneth Dougherty-Snedden, communication is the heart of a child's development. Signing boosts the infant's vocabulary and mental development and reduces tantrums as well. Communicating in sign language can also create a better bond between parent and child, as said before, because it involves eye-to-eye contact and tactile contact. There are some that may say teaching young children sign language before their first language, in general, delays the time it will take for children to speak with words. However, experts have found that it actually aids in speech development and increases the chances of speaking earlier than children who do not sign. With the cognitive and psychological benefits, increased communication skills, including higher abstract and creative thinking, listening, memory skills, and decreased frustration, association, and comfortability, it is clear that there is many benefits to signing in children in their early learning stages. In conclusion, I encourage those with young children and those who will have children in the future to consider learning sign language and teaching it to them. As you can see, it has an amazing turnout and can tremendously assist in having a common understanding between you and your child. It is important to do this as soon as possible with an infant and carry it on to adolescence, as it improves and enhances brain and linguistic development and motor and reasoning skills. Communication is so important in the world we live in, and it will always be, especially for those who do not yet know how to fully express themselves with words.